Sully realized his boot was filling with blood. The ogre had shot him in the leg, below the groin. He dragged both outlaws to jail, then rode his horse to the hospital, where he promptly underwent surgery, met a nurse half his age, and married her. How could you not want to work for such a man? Sully could grow nostalgic for the rough old days, but he was also clear. The old Klondike town had grown into a proper city, and the time was up for a brute like Clegg, who saw his job as hassling tramps and whores into paying him for protection, and was not above running a girl himself if she came up short. "Nah, it's the last shift for them old boys," Sullivan said when I complained about Clegg taking booze from the evidence room. He made a point of promoting cops like Hodge and Roth and me. For our brains and our rectitude, I guess. But also because we didn't care if Bill Shannon could throw a keg through a window, or that Hub Clegg once rode a patrol horse through a burning tavern to rescue a favored sporting girl. That's why he put us three on the Cannon Hill burglar. But 3 men was a big commitment during vagrant season, with the East End full of floaters, and union men coming from all over to agitate the Stevens Street job agencies. I was not unsympathetic to their cause, for there was no denying the corruption of those employment agents, who charged the poorest men $1 for suspect job leads. But the IWW protested by filling the town with stinking foreign rabble, and this brought out the tavern girls, opium and faro boys, mystics, seers, and pickpockets, a cloud of vice that swarmed the Tenderloin like mayflies over a putrid stream. "Take this window thief down fast, boys," Sullivan told us, "for we'll need your batons the other side of it." And so Hodge and Roth and I ventured out into that cold, dark evening. We took an empty trolley up the South Hill, got off at the first stop. We were in plain clothes and overcoats, with fur hats for warmth, and so my bald head wouldn't reflect the streetlights. The plan was for Hodge to amble the alleys while I walked the street in front and Roth the street behind. We'd square each block this way, work our way up the hill starting at 7th. There was a low ceiling of chimney smoke, and the streetlights cast shadows long and eerie. As I walked, I peered past split curtains into grand houses that burned gold with wood fire and candlelight. And I missed my own home fire, Rebecca and the kids. The night so cold and quiet, I doubted our thief could be afoot. After 7th, Hodge and I met on Adams at the alley entrance, where Roth had stopped to piss on the knuckled root of a maple. "I don't like it," Hodge said. "Roth pissing on trees?" "I don't like that either, but I mean walking up this hill hoping to bump into some ace burglar on the job." "Well, we won't find him rousting bums downtown with Clegg." "We will if he's a bum." "Fancy work for a bum." "I suppose so." Roth had finished pissing. We turned the next block and split up again at 9th, where I was admiring the pillared porches of the big houses, and paused to light my pipe. I wondered then if Rebecca's feelings about Spokane might change if I could ever get us off Poverty Flats and into one of these grand houses on the hillside. Wasn't likely on a cop's salary. Chief Sullivan himself lived in the flats. Anyway, I didn't think even these grand houses could make my wife happy. Not anymore. Not here. What was it about these steep, western, waterlocked cities? Seattle, Spokane, San Francisco. All 3 I'd visited, and in all 3 the money flowed straight uphill. It made me think of something I'd heard about the Orient, that water drained the opposite way there. Who wanted to live in a place where water spun backward or money flowed uphill? These towns that had no business being towns, straddling islands and bays and cliffs and canyons and waterfalls. I fell deeper into this somber mood, and was thinking Rebecca's word, drastic, when Roth stepped from the shadows. "You got something?" I asked. Or... I couldn't say what came next. The crack, me yelling, "Stop!" or the flash, or realizing this wasn't Roth. As to what came last, I have no doubts, for I doubled over and held my flaming open guts. There was another order that made sense. Not Roth. "Stop!" Flash, crack, doubled over, flaming guts.